Now, in bringing mouse and trackpad support to iPadOS, we deeply considered the best way to bring a cursor to a touch-first environment. Let me show you how it works.
This is a pretty cool cursor. Mouse, pointer, circle thing. I wonder what would happen if I... Right, so let's make this into an iPad cursor. I mean on an iPad cursor on the computer, or computer cursor. Anyway, I have no idea how to do this on the actual operating system, so I'm just going to make it into a Chrome extension. Should be pretty easy. Get rid of the cursor and match the circle to the position of the mouse position. Right, now I have matched the position of the circle. Now we just need it to become smaller when I click it. Not too hard. And then we're finished, right? Right? So, Apple has a thing when it hovers over a button or something, it matches the shape and highlights all of it. It's pretty cool, actually. So I now need to make the circle change its width and its height to do the thing in Chrome. Should not be that hard. Now, usually people who design these websites will make the actual pointer change to a pointer when the cursor hovers over something you want to click. But JavaScript, it doesn't tell you when the cursor changes to a pointer. It just tells you it's on autopilot mode and does its own thing. Naturally, I just looked at whatever the cursor is hovering over. If it's a link or some sort of button, it changes. Then the rest is easy. I just change the cursor to the size of the button and change the position of it to match the button. Done. Now, I just need to make it look nice with a cool transition and animation to switch between the two so it looks more like the iPad cursor. I don't know if you can tell this when you're watching, but my mouse is like really lagging. Like really. Do you see the point? Yeah. Okay, it turns out whenever I change the position of the mouse, it will make an animation to that new place. And I change the mouse literally every time the mouse moves a tiny bit. And every time I move that mouse that tiny bit, another animation is queued, which pushes the lag and adds on time to when it actually gets to the mouse. The solution is to just change code so that it won't animate when I'm normally moving about and only do it when it goes to a button or a link. Side note, the correct term is actually transition. Animation's actually a slightly different thing. But not that you care or anything, but it's just nicer to say. And there we go. Oh, come on. Now, if we look at Apple's cursor, it smoothly transitions in and out of the button. But, like, when I transition out, it teleports. Nothing some troubleshooting and a bug fixing can't solve, right, guys?
The next day.
After one day of doing that to my head, we will cross that bridge when we get to the end of the project. Meanwhile, I also need to work on the other animation Apple has, and that is the iBeam over text. As you can see, it's just a line with rounded edges. Now the animation here is more simple. I don't even need to change the position of a mouse. I just need to change the width and the height. But it was at this moment that I ran into another problem. How do you tell if the mouse is over text? You'd think that JavaScript would tell you, but it doesn't. It just says, okay, you're in a box with text, cool. But I don't know if you're over that text, but sure, you're in a box that has text in it. Luckily, we have Google, and, well, we just... And we're done. Thank you, Scott Marcus. And we run... What? But the internet's never wrong. Why is it always just a line? Dude, why do you have to do that to me, Scott Marcus? Your train tech solutions and all that stuff. Okay, alright guys, I think I have fixed it. Let me just have a look. Right. It deletes everything from the web page. There we go. Finally, how many days? Oh, right. We do not need that there. So now we finish, right? Hello? Wait. Oh, right. Yeah. I'll do that. So I have tried to make the animation by coding it myself and not using the built-in CSS. Right. Finally got the thing to work. There's definitely a more efficient and better way to do it, but I just used another property called transform, which is like what you learnt in math in school. You know, the rotate, scale, enlarge, all that stuff. But I'm only interested in the translate property, which is basically another way I can change the position of the cursor without changing the actual position of the cursor. Get it? No? Neither do I. One of the core principles of coding: if it works, don't touch it. Look at that sweet animation. Only when showing this towards my brother, he was like, yeah, it's cool, but you don't need to be able to change the color and stuff. Why am I doing this voice? Right, let's have a look at Apple settings. They let you change the contrast, hiding the pointer, etc. Right, okay. Right, I've finished it. It's still quite laggy, not as laggy as it was when I first started it, but this 50-year-old computer should be able to run it alright, so it will run pretty well on your superior PCs.